everybody, Jason here of GhostbustersNews.com, and as always, Ghostbusters News right here on YouTube. And today, we got a bit of an update surrounding the upcoming Ghostbusters Fright Features line from Hasbro, as listings just went live via Walmart.com. Now, before you get too excited, the figures as of this recording, they are listed as out of stock. But it sounds like they should be hitting retail very, very soon. So expect an update very, very soon. And of course, we'll keep you updated over on GhostbustersNews.com. But today, it's all about taking a closer look at these upcoming figures. And first, we've got this great shot here of Dr. Peter Venkman. I love the design here. I mean, to me, this looks like an animated Bill Murray. But with the sculpting, the detail work, the 5 points of articulation, it almost seems like a what-if kind of action figure. Like, what if back in the 1980s, instead of getting real Ghostbusters action figures from Kenner made action figures based on the original film? I especially love like some of the detail work here that went into the sculpting, like the pockets. You can also see sculpting work for the elbow pads. And of course, he does have a proton pack on his back with a neutrino wand that he can hold in his hand. Now, each Ghostbuster in this Fright Features line, they are also going to include a Fright Features Ghost. With Venkman coming with, well, you can see him right here, it is a ghost of Muncher, the new ghost that will be featured in this year's upcoming film, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, for those that don't know, the original Real Ghostbusters Kenner line, it included a line of figures that, well, they were called Fright Features. And the big twist when it comes to this new line from Hasbro is you're going to see it right here, the ghosts. They feature the Fright feature. Muncher there, he just splits right down the middle of his face, revealing all of his nasty innards. From this image here, it looks like we may actually get kind of like a yellow spinal column, and also a big, grotesque tongue. Now, when it comes to Dr. Peter Venkman, there's actually an additional figure release also listed, and that listing does give us a better look at the actual packaging art, which I gotta say I do love. In fact, I think I love it so much, I'm gonna have to buy actually 2 sets of these figures. One to open up and one to keep minty fresh. But back to the packing ghost here, you will see that this Peter Venkman does come included with a terror dog. And you can see with this terror dog right here, his mouth opens up, or should I say it dislocates, revealing his teeth and that yellow tongue. Now moving on here, we've got this action figure of Winston Zeddemore. And when it comes to Winston here, let me just say, I love the fact they went with the original Ghostbusters 1 Winston with the mustache. Now, one thing I do want to make note of here is each figure, each standard action figure, each Ghostbuster in this line, they do feature the exact same body mold. Just different paint apps when it comes to the name tags, and in Winston's case, different paint when it comes to his hands. But really, aside from the head, each one of these Ghostbuster figures, they are identical, which is to be expected because these action figures are only $10 US. Now, when it comes to Winston, you will see he comes with this Pack-In Ghost, which to me kind of looks like a melted mini Puft. I don't know, is anybody else kind of getting the same vibe here? Let's keep scrolling over here just once more. Yeah, to me, that looks like a melted mini Puft. But at the same time here, the part on the top of the head here, let's actually, yeah, kind of just focus in on that. I mean, that could be the hat of the mini Puft, but at the same time, does that remind anybody of Egon Spengler's haircut from the Real Ghostbusters animated series? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I do know I love it, but I don't know what I'm looking at here. Continuing on here, there is actually going to be another release, it appears, of Winston Zeddemore. And this release is going to come packed in, well, there he is right there, with a Slimer figure. We got some paint out there on the face featuring the yellow and red eyes, along with the white teeth. And then when his head opens up, once again, it cracks right down the middle, very much like that Muncher figure. It reveals a tongue full of food. And from what I see there, it looks like there's like mini pizzas and hot dogs on the tongue. Now, coming up next, we have got the heart of the Ghostbusters, Dr. Ray Stantz. And let's actually go ahead and enlarge this image because, oh, that face. I love that face. That is such an animated rendition of old Danny Aykroyd. That honestly looks so great. Over the years, it seems like toy companies, they've kind of struggled to capture Dan Aykroyd's likeness. But this animated rendition, it works so well here. Now, Ray Stantz's Pack-In Ghost, it's going to look a little familiar because it is a slightly different colored version of Muncher. As you can see with this Muncher, it features both purple and blue coloring, and he features a green inside with some blue and yellow detail. Now, rounding out the main 4 Ghostbusters, of course, we have got the brains, Egon Spengler. Now, being Egon Spengler there, let's go ahead and kind of zoom in a little bit on the face. Ah, don't look at me, you got the bug eyes. Yes, you can see right there, Spengler does feature his glasses with his eye decal applied on the top of them. And I love the sculpting and detail work that went into his hair. Moving along here, Egon's packing ghost, well, it's also gonna look familiar, as it's one of those, once again, what I think looks like a mini Puft. But as I've already mentioned there, I'm kind of questioning the top of the head there. Is that a hat? Is that a real Ghostbusters Egon Spengler haircut? I don't know. Let's talk about that actually down below in the comment section of this video. Now, the Ghostbusters themselves, they're not the only figures being released in this Fright Features line, as we're also going to be receiving a couple of individual ghosts. With first and foremost here, we have got probably my favorite in this entire toy line. It is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And wow, I love the packaging here, and I especially love, wow, this art down here. And just take a look at the art. You can see his like marshmallowy spine. Like his spinal column is made up of marshmallows, it looks like. As well, you can also see he's made up of what looks like tons of little mini Puffs. Or at least mini Puffs are like living inside him, maybe? I don't really know. Like, I don't know if that's like a Ghostbusters Afterlife spoiler or they just did it because it's very toyetic. But regardless, I cannot wait to get my hands on this brand new Stay Puft Marshmallow Man action figure. And this Stay Puft figure, much like all the other figures in the line, of course, he is going to have his very own Fright feature. And it's pretty simple to see here. All you got to do is put a little bit of pressure on the legs, and then he pretty much detaches at the waistline, showcasing that marshmallow spinal column, which once again, I love that. As well, sculpting and detail work that showcases tons of little mini Puft faces. Now, there is one more ghost in the line here, and you're taking a look at him. It is Muncher. And once again, Muncher, he's going to be one of the new ghosts featured in this year's upcoming film, Ghostbusters Afterlife. And speaking of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and once again, just mentioning how much I love this packaging, check out this art here. We've got Muncher spitting out just a bunch of metal, including an Ecto-1 license plate and a tire. Wait a minute, could Muncher actually eat the Ecto-1 in Ghostbusters Afterlife? Is that what this packaging is hinting at? I don't know how I feel about that. But let's keep going here. Let's scroll through these images. As you're taking a look at right here, the figure does come with a bit of a play feature here, where he kind of shoots that big ball of metal, I mean, in this case, it's actually made of plastic, out of his mouth. And then this image here does give us a much better look at Muncher. Let's once again go ahead and zoom in. You can see there's actually the Ecto-1 license plate sculpted in there on that big ball of metal. And then taking a look a little bit further down there, you can see some detail work inside his stomach, including both a stop sign and a fire hydrant. Now, in addition to the Fright Features figures, Walmart.com also listed a couple of the roleplay items as well, including this Ghostbusters Proton Pack, which certainly gives me vibes of the old school real Ghostbusters Kenner Proton Pack. As you can see, overall, the Proton Pack is inspired by, well, what we saw in the actual film series, but it is blue in color, once again, taking it back to that old school Kenner release. As we scroll through here, you'll see it does come with adjustable straps. As well, I do want to make note that this is only the Proton Pack. There's actually no Neutrino Blaster or Neutrino Wand included here. Now, for those scratching their heads, let's actually head on over to our main site, GhostbustersNews.com, and check out this article we posted way back on February 21st, 2020. And yes, I know that Ecto-1's catching your eye there. We're going to have more on this upcoming Hasbro Ecto-1 very, very soon, so be on the lookout for that. But as we continue on here, you can see, yes, that was one of the first advertisement photos we saw of the Proton Pack. And Hasbro will be releasing all of these items individually. And here is your better look right here at the Ghostbusters Proton Blaster. Now, the blaster itself is expected to go for only about $15, and the Proton Pack as well is only going to sell for about $15. So you'll be able to get the Proton Pack, you'll be able to get the blaster for a total price of around $30. Now, keeping focused on GhostbustersNews.com, let's keep kind of scrolling down here a little bit. Once again, this was posted back in February of last year. We also received this information about a Ghostbusters PK meter, as well as also the Ghostbusters Ghost Blaster mod. Now, as of this recording, these items are not listed on Walmart.com, but if they do get listed on Walmart.com or any additional websites, of course, we're going to feature that on GhostbustersNews.com and, of course, Ghostbusters News here on YouTube, so certainly keep posted. Now, once again, let's continue scrolling down here, as you will see the Ghost Whistle. Yes, the Ghostbusters Ghost Whistle, and the Ghost Whistle is of importance today because let's head on over back to Walmart.com and you'll see it. They do have a listing up for the Ghostbusters Ghost Whistle. More importantly, the Ghostbusters Afterlife Ghost Whistle. Now, I have no idea how a ghost whistle fits into Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't know if it's in the movie. I don't know if it was made just for a toy. But regardless, it does have the Ghostbusters logo on it. It makes noises. This thing is going to be a fan favorite, I have a feeling, when it comes to the younger Ghostbuster fans out there. And most likely a must-have for any Ghostbusters collector out there. And this is the shot I wanted to kind of show you here. Let's actually zoom in a little more on it here. You will see it features all the signs that were featured on the ESP cards from the original Ghostbusters movie. You know, just a couple of wavy lines. As well, we have images of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, or is that a Mini Puft, Muncher, Slimer, and a Terror Dog. Now, if you'd like more information on all of those items, as well as also links to the product pages featured in this video, be sure to check out GhostbustersNews.com, as we have a full write-up on everything we featured in today's video. That's all I've got for you here right now. As always, be sure to subscribe to Ghostbusters News here on YouTube. Bust that bell notification icon to stay up to date with everything that's happening within the Ghostbusters world. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters News, check out our Patreon page. A link to that can be found right down below in the description. And I'll see everybody right back here next time.
Let's go! Yeah, there's something strange coming out to play, and I'm noticing effects of it night and day. So I'm picking up the phone, they're a dial away. Heard that they ain't afraid of no ghosts. No one had arms reaching out of his torso to militarize zones on with Finn's board, though. Just got a call and I'm ecto cool. Grab your tools, it's time to fight Zool. This proton charge should go run you extra. Put storage of the beast, hope you brought your checkbook. You might want a warranty in case it happens down the line. Everybody's going down in time. Remember, you are not alone. Got a problem that needs solving, just pick up the phone. They'll answer, dial that number, do it on your own. Not tonight, baby, you need the professionals. Yeah.
Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Ghostbusters.
Go. No.